What's up, bookworms, and welcome back to the Lucid Nightmare. I'm your host as always, Jay Schatzer, and it is time for another book haul video. I know they're not as popular as the other stuff on this channel, but I love these movie novelizations and kind of book-related cinema stuff. So I keep buying it, so I'm going to keep showing it off. And I got a lot of awesome, interesting finds here. They're from various different places, eBay, sometimes I go to used bookstores, but a lot of awesome things that I really got to get on and start reading because, the last thing I read was The Mist, which I did a video on, but there's a lot of awesome ones. Like I have a Zardoz I showed off on another video. I think I want to read that one next, but I got a lot of awesome stuff, so let's dive right in and see what I have to add to my book novelization collection. First up is a fun, extremely fun movie that I loved as a kid growing up. I still get a kick out of. It's those old adventure stories. This is The Land That Time Forgot, Edgar Rice Burroughs' book. That cover is so cool. Absolutely love it. It's one of the main reasons I wanted to get this edition because of the cover. I love that illustration there for the movie. And then the backside has some cool stills from the film. Yeah, like I said, it's a very, very fun film. If you haven't seen it before, definitely check it out. I think I might have even reviewed it years and years ago on the channel. So look for that one and see what you think of the movie if you haven't seen it. But it stars Doug McClure. And he is the man. But yeah, this is a great, great addition. No movie stills in the middle, but yeah, just an awesome, awesome looking addition right here that I am happy to add into the collection and show off. But yeah, one more look at that awesome illustration. Badass. So let's move it on to a film that is sadly not looked on upon fondly. But it is a great film in my opinion. I really loved it. I know it bombed, but I love anything like post-apocalyptic or like after civilization falls and people try to pick up the pieces. And this one's a really great epic, and it's inspiring for what I do. It is The Postman, and if you don't know, I'm a postman. So I read this book every single day to inspire me to go out and deliver mail. Not really, but because it's a thick ass book. But this is a great fun film. Kevin Costner, in his madness after Waterworld, decided to do another big epic and went for The Postman. Did not do too well, sadly, but I enjoy it. I think it's really interesting. Have a really cool concept, and just the post-apocalyptic world definitely feels lived in and real and tangible, gritty, unforgiving. And the bad guys are pricks. How can you go wrong? Just a really awesome post-apocalyptic film that I highly recommend. Give it another chance if you've seen it and you didn't like it back in the day. Maybe give it one more chance, especially compared to movies that come out today. They're real shit, so you might actually like it. But that's The Postman with Kevin Costner. Interested to see what the heck's different in this thing. But yep, cool pickup. And one that I didn't realize they actually had a novelization for. But, let me see here. Just want to make sure there's no special thing to add for those ones. But up next is a movie totally different. It's an action 80s extravaganza that kind of solidified Sylvester Stallone as the action man back in the day. It is Rambo First Blood Part 2. The cover says it all. Just a awesome 80s film with enough testosterone to fill a cinema. And yeah, this edition looks pretty cool. Love the cover art for it. Just Rambo right there. But yeah, it is a novel by David Morrow, the best-selling author of First Blood, which I might have somewhere. From the screenplay by Sylvester Stallone and James Cameron. So this is based off the screenplay. It has been, I gotta admit, it's been a long time since I've sat down and watched Rambo 2. I'm gonna have to give it another watch sometime soon. But cool addition to the collection. But let's go on to a sci-fi movie, classic sci-fi movie that I actually watched fairly recently. I sat down and checked it out on the projector with my girlfriend. I submit her to all kinds of horrible movies, but this one's a classic, but it's very slow-paced and very cerebral. Not a lot of action in it. It's more of the concept. And those are kind of hard to get through for people like modern audiences. But this one is a scorcher with a lot of great things to say and a lot of aspects of humanity that people don't really talk about, the bitter kind of kind. But let's talk. The book is When Worlds Collide. It's fantastic. Very dire. Looks at the human race as a bunch of savages when it comes down to survival. Really cool, intriguing stuff. But absolutely enjoyed the movie after revisiting it after a long time of not seeing it. Now I'm kind of curious to see what they have in the book, what they added, what they might have taken out. But I don't know. And it says Philip Willey and Edwin Balmer. And I don't know, because this must be just the original novel that the film was based off of. But When Worlds Collide, absolute classic sci-fi stuff, and one hell of a great addition to the collection. Cool stuff. But here's another sci-fi movie that's it's different than When Worlds Collide, but it doesn't skimp on the political kind of microscopic lens on like what is like with racism and differing people and things like that. Alien Nation, really awesome stuff if you've ever seen it. I know it's also has this TV series as well. I love the film, and this one looks like it's based off the film, but it's pretty much about aliens living amongst humans and the kind of relations of trying to get along. There's a lot of prejudice, a lot of racism. It's really awesome stuff, and this one's actually novelized by Alan Dean Foster. So he wrote this one, and he is a veteran of the sci-fi kind of book world. It's based on the screenplay by Rockne S. O'Bannon. But really cool. I was really happy to pick this one up because it's always been a favorite of mine back in the day, and I need to revisit it. I absolutely need to revisit this one sometime soon. But a really cool looking cover with the red in the back. I like that. But Alien Nation, awesome film, and I'm interested to see what this book kind of details in it. See what Alan Dean Foster came up with for this one. But awesome. And it must be a little sci-fi trip here because I got this sci-fi and another sci-fi, but they're all varying degrees of sci-fi. Some are thought-provoking, some are action-oriented, some are serial-oriented, like the old serials that Star Wars and stuff were based off of. But this one is in that same ilk. It is Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, which if you haven't seen the film, it's actually really good. I love the characters in it. Jude Law and Gwyneth Paltrow star in it. And this is a novel based by K.J. Anderson, based on a motion picture written by Carrie Conrad. So it looks like they're pulling from some of the screenplay there. But it's a fun film. And like I said, it goes back to those old serials. And it has a lot of elements to do with the first one I showed you, The Land That Time Forgot, those old Doug McClure films too, because it kind of has a lost world aspect. So there's dinosaurs. It's really interesting, and it's a more modern film. I can't remember the exact year this came out. I want to say it's early 2000s. But there's a lot of interesting aspects of the film with giant robots and like the 50s aesthetic, 40s maybe, a 40s aesthetic, but really cool stuff with Zeppelins, that kind of style. It's really cool, but it was all made in a modern time with modern technology, and they do a really hell of a good job in the film with it. And I don't think it really did that well though, but it's a badass film. I love it to death, and interested to see what the novelization is all about because didn't really know there was one until I saw it, and was definitely intrigued when I first saw that. So glad it's in the collection. I will get to it someday. And we got two more to go. This one is, I mean, it's a classic sci-fi tale, but it's very unorthodox, very weird. And I saw this around the same time I saw Zardoz, so I was seeing a lot of weird 70s style films in the sci-fi vein around that time, and this one was definitely weird. I have to revisit it because it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I had my eye on it for a while of buying the movie. I have it on DVD, but I don't have it on Blu-ray. I've been looking to upgrade it. But the movie is Slaughterhouse-5. And like I said, a very strange film. There's a lot of trippy time travel kind of stuff going on. Weird dimensional things. It's hard to even describe from my memory of what the movie's even about, but there's a lot of insane visuals in it. And it's just it's a captivating story. But this is by Kurt Vonnegut Jr., and this is the actual novel. The film was based off of this novel, so you got it from the author, from the horse's mouth right here in this little format. So hopefully I'll be able to read it someday, set some time and check it out. But I was actually surprised to see this one because it was at a used bookstore in my area and it was only $3. So usually these kind of older classics, these older classics have a higher price tag when they're like labeled classics of literature. But yeah, I'm glad I picked this one up for such a good price. I was really taken aback that day, but glad it's in the collection now. And last but definitely not least is a sequel to a classic post-apocalyptic flick from Australia. Can you guess what it is? I bet you can. It is Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. This is actually the third film, so it's a sequel to two other films that are prior, being Road Warrior being the second movie, and then Mad Max being the first one. This one is a lot of fun, and I think I've seen this one first as a kid, and then I went back and watched Road Warrior, and then I wanted to see where it originated from and watch Mad Max. So I have a weird story of how I came into the Mad Max world, and I think Road Warrior's the best. Then I think I like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome second, and then the first one probably the third. But then I like the other ones too, the Furiosa and the what the hell's the name of it? Shit, I just like my brain just went psh, but you know which one I'm talking about. But this one is a very interesting film. They made a lot of interesting choices in it, but there's a lot of iconic moments that have carried over to pop culture throughout. So yeah, it's just a really awesome stuff. And I remember seeing Mel Gibson with that kind of hairstyle with the like white in places, and I was like, what is this, like a is Mad Max like falling into the Evil Dead universe? Because I was huge, I'm still huge in Evil Dead, but Evil Dead 2 has, like, you know, Ash with his white line in his hair after seeing the evil, and then they had like a double barrel shotgun in this and chainsaws, and I'm like, there's so many elements that I was like familiar with from having been a huge fan of Evil Dead. So I always felt this has had a little Evil Dead-esque kind of iconography in it. But yeah, this one is based on a screenplay written by Terry Hayes and George Miller, novelization by Joan D. Vinge. So interesting to check that out, because the story in general for the movie is weird, so maybe they weirded even more up in this. Who knows? But that's awesome to add to the collection. But I'd say that is a hefty dose of movie novelization goodness. And I don't know how to hold this there, but awesome stuff. Some greats in there. But guys, that's it for me. Hopefully you liked that video, and hopefully you like what I'm doing here. If you do, please like and subscribe, and if you have time, leave a comment below, because I love hearing from you guys. But until then, I will see you all at the next Lucid Nightmare. See ya.